what I'm doing right now assumes that you already have some footage collected. And I've got this folder of footage that I got when I was in Alaska and I was riding on a train. So I actually went in and labeled a whole bunch of these clips with little kind of like green and blue dots so that I know which ones are good enough to use. You probably aren't going to record that many clips of video for this project because it's pretty short. We're in Adobe Express and I'm going to go over to hit video right here. And we're already working on a video project. There's a bunch of templates for different places. If you want to make something that's specifically for Instagram video post or even like a TikTok or something like that, there's templates. If you want to make a YouTube compatible video, there's a template for it. We're going to start right here. We're going to start from our own video. And it's going to take all of the characteristics of the piece that you start with and base everything else on that. So I'm going to go get one of these blue ones that I know is pretty decent. Let's say that's the one I start with. I'm going to go hit open and create new. We're going to have to add a bunch of pieces to it, but we're starting out with this one. I'm going to check. I'm just going to click on YouTube video because I know it's the right size. Okay, so now I'm in a video editor, which is pretty cool because we haven't had a video editor that works on your Chromebook until Adobe Express started doing this. This thing on the bottom is called a timeline. And every clip that we put in there, put into our project, is going to show up on the timeline. It lets us view what we have by traveling through time in the timeline. Let's see, I've got that one on there. I want to add another clip. I'm going to go hit this one that says add scene. At this point, it has a blank place. This isn't how a lot of other video editors work, but this is how this works. And this, if you don't pay attention to anything else, this is probably the best part to pay attention to. I'm going to have that selected, and I'm going to go over to media right here. All right, I'm going to hit videos, then I'm going to hit upload from device. Whatever you're using, as long as you have your video clips on it. Now we're searching through whatever you're editing with. If it's your Chromebook and you put your videos on your Chromebook, if it's your phone, in this case it's this iMac, and you can totally do yours on an iMac. So I'm going through and looking at some of the other video clips that I already kind of marked. I think that's the one I started out with. I want to put that one in there because it's kind of another angle, really similar to the first one I used. I'm going to hit open, and now that clip is on my timeline too. So if I go back, I can play through this one, and it goes to that other angle. We're going to keep moving. We're going to add another scene. So I want to get one of these where the people are off the train. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces I want to put in here, but I don't want to make it overly complicated yet. We're going to keep adding some stuff. Upload. And it's got to be one of these blue ones. Okay, this is the one I want to use. Now I have some tourists up at the top, and I have this little pan that shows some of the area. And so I think I have a little bit of a narrative going that these people are on a train. You see a couple of different angles of the train. You see where they got to. I'm not going to add too many more clips, even though I think I could do something else with this. Let's look at some of the other requirements in your project. We're going to have at least 4 unique recorded clips. The next thing I'll do is rename this project. I'll put a little bit of text in there, and I'll probably put some sound in there. If you're working in a project in Adobe Express, the way you name your project is the same as when you did your poster. I'm going to go click on this up here, and I'm starting to name it, and it should probably be something like your name video story. At that point, when you export your project, it's going to have almost the same name too. Let's go figure out how to add a title in here. I'm going to go to the place in my timeline where I want it to happen. And I'm going to go look at some text elements. There's all these template versions of the text. I want to look for something that's kind of grungy maybe. Grunge. That's pretty cool. I'm going to use this one that says Awesome Teacher Award. We're going to change that over to White Pass Railway. And I don't think I need this little element in here, so I'm going to get rid of that. Maybe I'll move it around in my frame a little bit to a different place. Hey, that works because it's kind of out of the composition from the train. We did that. Okay, Cool. Danica, let's do the nonlinear thing. You ready for that? Okay. So I've got all these clips on here. They may be in the order in which they were filmed. If I want to make something nonlinear, I'm going to change the order in which these clips are. So if I go click on one of these, and I'm just going to move it around to a different place in the timeline, this is called nonlinear editing. So when we used to edit tape to tape when I was just starting in college, because nonlinear editing was becoming a thing, you could only make one edit, and then you had to decide what the next piece of video is, and you put it there, and the next piece, and you put it there, and you couldn't go like move things around in time. And so once you're editing on a computer, now we can do that. We call it nonlinear editing in the business. I hope it makes a little easier transition right there. One of the other things in the assignment is putting some music in your project. So we're going to go to Media and hit Audio. And there's all these things that are available and ready for you to use and royalty-free that this company is providing you with, because they really want you to use Adobe Express. So I'm going to search for something that's maybe Western.
Right now, for ours, I just put good jazz right now, but we can change it depending on.
That sounds very train. So I'm going to grab this one. Yeah, and it popped it in my timeline. You see that there's an audio track for that piece of music in my timeline already. Cool. And I can still hear some of the background sound that was recorded on those clips. Hunter, is this way faster and simpler than what you're doing in video production too? Yeah, you can't affect the details as much in something like this. All right. Yeah. So I think I've done almost everything on this except for creating some credits at the end. And I just want to show you how to export your project. When you're done with everything and you think you have all the requirements taken care of, in order to turn your project in, you'll need to do something like this. I'm going to go hit download. The only thing that's available is MP4, and it works great to turn into the Google Classroom. None of these are video files. This is the only video file. 1080p is probably fine. Going to go hit download. And now all of the stuff that we did on the cloud in Adobe's servers is coming back to your computer. This might take a little bit of waiting because there's a lot of data being transferred. But this used to be so slow that I had to put one of those little SpongeBob transitions in. All right, at that point, it should be in my downloads folder. I'm going to go look there. Your name video story.mp4. If I open it on this computer, it opens in this program called QuickTime Player. So now we're watching it in QuickTime Player. And we'll see if it works. Hope that helps you finish this project. Thanks for watching.